Hello guys, hello. Welcome to our Excel free class this evening. Thank you for joining us wherever you are joining us from this evening. Thank you for joining us. And then it's going to be a wonderful time this evening to look at something important in Excel. Okay, so I'm going to start by sharing my screen now so you can see everything we are doing. Okay, so let me pull up this data. So this is the data we are working with today. And then before we move on, I want to tell us that this free Excel class is brought to us by Relief Tech Academy. My name is David. I'm the lead tutor at Relief Tech Academy. What we're looking at today, we'll be looking at how to use PivotTable to summarize large set of data, okay? We have this story here. It's the story of Daniel. Daniel worked at a small retail store, helping to handle sales record every day. His job was just to enter numbers into Excel and then move on. But one morning, his manager came to him and asked him to do something. He said, Daniel, what's the most selling products that we have? And then I will need the report by noon. So Daniel began to panic. Why? Because he was looking at it. How would he be able to do that? The sales sheet had hundreds of rows, which were two-way larger for Daniel to handle. He had no idea what he would do. But then he remembered something from an Excel training that he had. And what was it? Pivot tables. So what he did was to quickly utilize PivotTable to create a summary and a chart to submit to his manager. So by noon, he presented a clear professional report to his manager. So instead of drowning in numbers, he had insight at a glance. So his manager looking at the report that he sent. So instead of being overwhelmed by numbers, he was able to make sense of the report because the report included some chart and all that to make it kind of simpler to understand. So we want to look at today, how did Daniel solve this problem? And the data set we'll be using today is this data set called Rollis Office data set. So looking at the data set, you have, let me just check, how many rows do we have? We have like over 200 rows in this data set. And it's a sales data set. We have different categories of products here. Okay. If I just apply filter here to check the category of product, we have the desk accessories, the filing and storage stuff, paper, planners, and writing instruments. So those are the categories of product that we have. Okay. So this is the amount that have been sold, the cost of goods, sales price, and sales revenue, and so on and so forth. So we have, these are the things we'll be working with today. So first and foremost, before I start applying PivotTable to summarize this data, to make sense out of it, all right, to make sense out of it, to see what we are having here. So what I'm going to do is to apply the currency formatting on this data. So how do I do that? This is talking about the sales price. So I'll just highlight, come to this place, click on this dollar sign. Okay, it's there now. Then sales revenue as well. Apply that. Then highlight this one, profit margin, to do that as well. So we have this financial data we want to analyze right now. So how do we apply PivotTable to this data? How do we apply PivotTable to this data to summarize it and to create it in such a way that it will be easier to understand? So the first thing we'll do is we'll go to the insert tab here, up here, insert tab. And under the insert tab, you see this ribbon. And the first segment of the ribbon is called table, okay? It's called table, and you can see the pivot table there. You can see the pivot table there. So what you do here is that you want to select a cell in this data. Okay, after selecting a cell, then you click on this pivot table. All right, so Excel will throw up this pop-up, and in this pop-up, Excel is asking us the table range which he has already selected, and then it's asking us if we need external data. We don't need an external data source. Then it's asking us where you should create the pivot table. Okay, so we want the pivot table to be in another sheet, in another worksheet. Okay, and then I will just click OK. So Excel is going to open a new sheet. All right, so our data is in sheet 1, but Excel has opened another sheet for us where we can, do drag and drop to summarize our data. So if you look at here, we have these pivot table fields. You find out that we have some names here, which are the names of the columns, the column headers of our data. So we have them here as fields. Okay, we have them here as fields. So if you want to look at a summary of the product category, so how do we do that? The product category, we want to see the sales that have come in based on each category of the product. So what we'll do is I'll just select this product category, drag it to row. Okay, you can see that it has formed a row here. Then I'll go to sales. I'll go to sales. I'll go to sales. Okay, let me go to quantity sold to find how many, and drag that to value, right? We drag that to value here. And this will give us a summation of product that have been sold under this category called desk accessories. So this is a summation of products that have been sold. Then let's look at the revenue. We'll drag sales revenue, bring it to value as well, right? This is the revenue from each of these category. And then we'll now go ahead and look at the profit margin as well, the same way. So we have for this product category, desktop accessory, the total product that has been sold is 557. 557. Then we have the sales revenue that have come in. That's $223,160. Okay. And the profit margin from that is $1,375. So this has given us a summary of this data set we have over here. This is just a summary of this data set. Then, by the way, I just want to mention that what we are looking at today is just the tip of the iceberg. It's just part of the Excel masterclass that we have at Relief Tech Academy. Okay, this is just a minute or a small portion of what we have there. So if you want to go deeper into Excel, I will encourage you to register for our masterclass. And you can do that by going to our website, www.rolivestech.com, and you will see how you can contact us and get registered there to take the masterclass. So let's continue. So first and foremost, what I'm going to do is that I want to summarize. I want to create charts that will show us the different quantities of product that have been sold. Then we'll also look at revenues that come from each category of the product and the profit as well. So we're going to look at that now. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is that, first of all, let me just rename this. Let me rename this as category, product category, right? That's good. Then we'll rename this as quantity sold. Then this we'll rename as revenue. We rename this as revenue. And this one we'll rename this one as profit margin, or can rename it as profit. profit from the sales of those products. Okay, so we have this here, and then this one we can name this as total. Yes, so it's making sense now. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I just want to copy this, copy with by pressing Control C, and let me paste in another, open another worksheet and paste it there. And I'll do Control V to paste it here. Okay, let me just paste it without the pivot table. Okay, I'm pasting only the values because that's what I need. I'm pasting only the values because that's what I need. So here I have a summary of the sales that we have done at Rolly's office. So let me just convert this one to a table. Okay, so I've converted this one to a small table now, a summary table. So this is a summary table of our business transaction at Rolly office. So then the next thing I want to do is to put in the currency, go to home, then click on this. Okay, we have this here. All right, that's fine. That's fine. So we have the quantity sold, revenue, and profit. So we have a summary table. Now, let's now begin to create our charts from this. Let's begin to create a chart from this. So the first thing I want to do is to highlight I want to create a chart that will show the quantity of product we have sold. So I will just highlight these guys, highlight the product category and the quantity. Then I will navigate to insert, okay, go to recommended charts. And then, okay, I'm okay with this one. I can select that, okay? So I can select that. So we now have a chart that shows us what products that are being sold, what quantity of product that are being sold. So we can also go ahead and edit this chart to make it look kind of professional. So what I'm going to do, click on axis to bring up the axis. Then the next thing is I'm going to put the data label because I'm going to remove this from here. Okay, so here we have quantity sold. Okay, that's good. We can make it bold by pressing Control B. Then this, we can rename this as, let me rename this as product category. Rename this as product category. That's fine there. So we can make it bold, Then this, can rename this axis title here for the horizontal axis title. Can rename it as quantity. Okay, quantity. You can make that bold as well. So our chart is making sense now. So I will remove this from here. Okay. So this way you are able to see what quantity or what product category is sold. Let me make this on board as well. Okay. So we have writing instrument. We sold more of that. We sold 2,519 quantity of that product category. Then the next one is days. The next one is this. So let me try another thing here. Let me just sort this. We did sorting in our last class. So if you were not in the last class, I will encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, Rolly Tech Academy on YouTube, to watch our last class where we talked about sorting. Okay. So I've sorted this data now, and it has made this my chart to be sorted in such a way that the most sold product will be at the top, then the least sold will be at the bottom. So we know which product is performing less and which product is our top performing product. For example, when the manager of Daniel came to him that he wanted to see the top performing product. So Daniel created something like this, okay, to see the product that was being sold more, okay. So the next thing I want to do, let me just move this one to one side. Let me move it to one side. I want to create another chart. I want to create another chart that will show the revenue. So I'll select this, then select, okay, let me select this, and this, this. Okay, I will leave out the total. Then go to insert again and click on recommended chart. All charts. What are we missing here? Okay. Let me insert. Okay, this one shows. Okay, we can have this, then we edit to pick what we need. What we need. Mm, okay, select again, right? Let this, sorry, what did I do? Okay, let me remove this chart, go back here. Okay, revenue, no. Revenue. Okay, it's not showing us any chart. So this one here and hide this. Okay, let's do it again. Revenue, right? We got that here. So we have the revenue here. So we have the revenue on this table. And we can do the editing as usual. Can do the editing as usual. Put the title as this, chart title, data labels. Okay, let me just move it up here and do this is revenue. This is revenue. Okay. And this will still be our product category. Product category. Okay, that's settled. And this will be okay. So we have this one here. Can change this one to sales revenue. Make it bold. Make this one bold as well. Do the same to this. I want to remove this and make this one bold as well. So we have that. Then we can remove these lines, the grid lines, remove them. Okay, we can do the same thing to this one as well. Remove the grid lines. Remove the grid lines. Yes, and there you have it. We have a summary of the product sold. Then we also have a chart to show the revenue. And as usual, I'm going to arrange this. I'm going to sort this. Yes, okay. So we have this here. We have this here. So this is how you use your pivot table to create a summary of your data, right? This is how you use your pivot table to create summary of your data. So like I said earlier, that what we are doing here is just a minute part of the masterclass, the Excel masterclass we have at Relief Tech Academy. And if you want to go deeper into Excel to learn more about Excel, about all the tools in Excel you can use, I want you to visit our website, www.relieftech.com. That's where you'll be able to register for the masterclass. I think with this we have done here, we'll call it a day. And next week, Friday, we'll be having another class when we'll look at another tool that we can use in Excel to analyze our data. I hope you've gotten value from what we've done today. If that's so, drop a comment for us on our YouTube channel, or subscribe to our channel, like our page, share it for others to benefit from what we are doing here. Thank you very much. See you next week.